Good evening, everyone. My name's Mark Allen Lovewell. I'm a folk singer from the island of Martha's Vineyard. Welcome to another Sunday at Sea show.
Boy, we're having a focus problem here. Something is going wacky. I don't know why. I'm having a focus problem, though.
Oh no, is it not focusing?
I don't know. It's going wacky.
Oh my God, look at that.
Yeah, it's going wacky. How does that get wacky like that? Oh, it looks kind of pretty, but it's not looking like
Here's my suggestion.
Okay.
We got it?
No.
All right, let's see what we can do here.
Let's see what we can do.
There's always a new moment here. Hold on, folks.
There's always a new moment.
Oh my God, here we go.
Trying to fix it. Ooh, it's like kind of cool. This looks like an impressionist painting, but it doesn't look right. Woo! Maybe I pressed the wrong one of those thingies.
I'm gonna turn it on.
Good idea.
Let's see what happens now. Hang in there, everyone. We're there with you.
Oh, much better.
All right, let's see what happens now. We all
Oh,
right?
this is better.
Oh my gosh.
Always something exciting.
Oh my gosh, always something. Anyway, good evening, everyone. My name's Mark Allen Lovewell. I'm a folk singer from the island of Martha's Vineyard. Welcome to my show. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the show, your show. Welcome to your show. It's Sunday evening. It's freezing cold outside. We've got Ashley burning right over here. Let's see, we get a fire going. Make sure. It really has been cold. We were outside earlier today. We'll talk to you about it in a minute. Anyhow, we've got Molly here. Molly's ready to join us. We okay? We all focused?
We're ready. We're ready. Hi, everybody. Now we're in focus.
Now we're in focus. Sorry about that. So,
Hi.
hi. So, I just opened with a melody from the song, the herring song. Many of you already know the song, but you know we're getting close to spring, and the herring season quickly approaches. And what happens is the herring comes swimming into the waters around Martha's Vineyard and all up and down the eastern seaboard, and then at an opportune moment when the temperature of the water reaches a certain high, they all start swimming into the rivers and swimming up the streams. And on Friday, Molly and I were out visiting the herring run at the head of Lagoon Pond, which is a wonderful spot, and it's a historic run that was rebuilt almost 35 years ago. And then it was, anyhow, we went there and had a great moment. You were
We saw
touched
the whole
by it.
crew. It was really cool. There were the whole shellfish department, water people. They were all dredging it, right? Getting the silt out and stuff.
So what was happening was there was a whole crew of people from two towns, that overlook the herring run. There was Tisbury Shellfish Department and the Oak Bluff Shellfish Department collaborating together, working together to clear all the silt and sand out of the run and setting up the ladder correctly so that the herring could make it up the channel. So we have to sing this song tonight. We have to do this.
Tribute to all those hard workers.
Never was a spring when the herring didn't come. Never a night when the fish didn't run. Never a thought we'd ever get this way, that they'd be so scarce on this modern day. A humpback whale breaches from a deep dive, bald eagle flies so way up high. Shiny silver scales and that old fish weir. You gotta love it, boys. The fish are here. These seaside fish were our darlings. We haul them in the morning for the sun. Fast cold water and our hearts were warm. Fish scales they made Priscilla pearls. Wampanoag, Penobscot, and every coastal tribe. Winters were cold, it was hard to survive. Hope of spring came with this fish of the sea. They came wiggling, swimming up the stream. Scarce these fish aren't around much anymore. They are so depleted, they're gone from our shore. Don't tell our forefathers we've emptied the banks. We squandered them and have our greed to thank. These seaside fish were our darlings. We haul them in the morning for the sun. Fast cold water and our hearts were warm. These fish scales they made Priscilla pearls. When the shad bush blossoms and the snow melts, ponds open up and the creeks let out. Wherever a trickle of fish meets the sea, there's a herring waiting to come upstream. In the dark night when the moon rises, turn your lantern light high, the herring have arrived. Their names connect us to where we should be. Blueback, alewives, buckeye, and sawbelly. These fish were our darlings. We haul them in the morning for the sun. Fast cold water and our hearts were warm. Sky ladies loved Priscilla pearls. The ladies, they loved Priscilla pearls. The ladies, they loved Priscilla pearls. The last thought I want to offer to you is that there are not many ways or opportunities that you and I as a human being can be involved in helping the fish of the sea. We stand at the beach and we look out across the ocean, and it's really, we're detached, we're disconnected, we're not connected. I mean, you walk the beach and whatever and so on. But what is so much fun about going to a herring run is that there's something there, visually. There's something there that connects you right there with the fish of the sea. And to watch that crew of people on Friday, and there were not a small number of people, you know, there was easily 10, what do you think, 12?
Yeah, 10 to 12.
You know, with shovels and
And they were up this deep in the water.
And they had carpentry tools, and they were engaged. And so a shout out to the Tisbury Shellfish Department, a shout out to the Oak Bluffs Shellfish Department, the Oak Bluffs Water Department too, because they're key players in that whole story about maintaining and managing that property where the herring run is, and not all, and to say that Martha's Vineyard, we used to have a bunch of herring runs that were fully operational and doing really well. We have one up in Aquina, which is run by the tribe, and they do a wonderful job at trying to maintain and take care of doing what they can do to help the herring go where they want to go. The herring want to go home.
I thought it was really cool how you explained how they have to let the pond get to a certain water height and pressure and stuff, so that then they can open that up, and that starts the water flowing.
Well,
so that
and gets them flowing, and so they
yeah.
go out. It's like a little brook, and it's a man-made brook. It's a man-made brook to sort of facilitate the herring as they go up into the fresh water. Before mankind was here, well, brooks ran down into the ocean, and there was places where the herring could swim up to the freshwater ponds, and so we have so managed our ponds and such. There's, I've got friends on Cape Cod who are watching this show tonight who are engaged and connected and involved in the herring runs on Cape Cod, and their herring runs all the way from Newfoundland all the way down to northern Florida, where these herring come back, and it's. And they're in trouble. It shouldn't be. They shouldn't be in trouble. Now, what's going to happen is that people are trying to make these herring runs work efficiently and effectively, so the fish can make the trip. But when they're offshore, when they're out in the ocean, there's not a heck of a lot we can do. They get a hook. They get caught in the nets of aggressive fishermen who are trying to catch Atlantic herring, and it's anyway. I don't want to go down the road of being too complex on the topic of fisheries management in the ocean, but we can locally do something to help the herring. And the run there's no commercial fishing in Massachusetts for herring. And they closed the fishery in an effort to try and help the fish come back. And at the time when they closed it, it was just for a couple of years to see, obviously just lay off, don't catch any fish from the runs. But there's a lot more serious stuff going on offshore that was harming, it was taking those fish out. And we want them back. I want them back. We all want them back. And you want them back, too, anyway. That's not the right key. There it is. All right, well, so we're all paying attention to what's going on in Europe right now. And we can't in a moment ignore that. And we just, we have to observe it. And there have been men who've gone to war to protect their countries ever since, I guess, forever. So the song here is a sea song which I've sung, and it looks to summer, and it's a kind of a cheerful but sad moment for the sailor who has to leave his loved one to go to sea to fight a war. And so we have to do this song, Pleasant and Delightful. You've heard me sing it before, but our hearts go out to so many people who are dealing with issues that are beyond measure. 'Twas pleasant and delightful on one midsummer morn, and the green fields and the meadows were buried in corn, and the blackbirds and the thrushes sang from every green tree, and the larks they sang melodious at the dawning of the day, and the larks they sang melodious, and the larks they sang melodious, and the larks they sang melodious at the dawning of the day. Well, a sailor and his true love were out walking one day. Said the sailor to his true love, I'm bound far away. I'm bound for the East Indies, where the loud cannons roar. And I'm bound to leave my Nancy, she's the girl that I adore. And I'm bound to leave my Nancy, and I'm bound to leave my Nancy, and I'm bound to leave my Nancy, she's the girl that I adore. Well, the sailor to his true love, well, I must be on my way, for the topsail she is hoisted and the anchor is weighed. The big ship she lies awaiting for the next flowing tide, and I'm bound to leave my Nancy, she's the girl that I adore, and I'm bound to leave my Nancy, and I'm bound to leave my Nancy, and I'm bound to leave my Nancy, she's the girl that I adore. Ring from off her finger she quickly drew, saying, take this, dear Henry, and my heart will be true. And as they were embracing, tears from her eyes fell, saying, may I go along with you? Oh, know me, love, farewell, saying, may I go along with you? Saying, may I go along with you? Saying, may I go along with you? Whoa, know me, love, farewell.
We got some nice company here.
Oh my God, you have, what's it look like? We got some friends showing up.
Yeah, we got friends. We've got Henry showing something about the herring run returning large numbers, and we got Simon and Melissa and Philip. Hey Pam, hey Carol. We got lots of friends here.
Oh my God,
Velma's here. Oh yeah, and I know Connie's here. She texted and said she's just not able to comment, but hey guys.
It's so good. Yeah, I said this is a morning show, is that the turnout of people, the participation, the words that they share with us in the comment section is really what makes us feel so much like we're all together again, right?
Here. Speaking of fish, you got another fishy one up your sleeve.
Oh, I gotta do another
don't ya?
fishy song. Come all you young sailormen, listen to me. I'll sing you a song of the fish in the sea. Blow you winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southward, so steady she goes. Now up comes the whale, the biggest of all. He went up aloft and let all the sails fall. Blow you winds westerly, westerly blow. We're bound to the southward, so steady she goes. comes the mackerel with his striped back. He stands up on deck and says, my name is Jack. Blow your wings westerly, westerly, blow. We're bound to the southern, so steady she goes. Now up comes the bluefish, he's a wagging his tail. He flips and he flops and says, time to make sail. Blow your wings westerly, westerly, blow. We're bound to the southern, so steady she goes. Now up comes the flatfish, and we call him Skate. If you'll be the captain, why, I'll be the mate. Blow your wings westerly, westerly, blow. We're bound to the southern, so steady she goes. Now up comes the codfish with his chuckle head. He's out on the chains, heaving the lead. Blow your wings westerly, westerly, blow. We're bound to the southern, so steady she goes. Now up comes the swordfish, he's a king of the sea.
He is.
We're coming about, boys, so heartily. Blow your wings westerly, westerly, blow. We're bound to the southern, so steady she goes. One more verse. Now up comes the fisherman, he's stalwart and grim. He dips his big net in and scoops them all in. Blow your wings westerly, westerly, blow. We're bound to the southern, so steady she goes. Blow your wings westerly, westerly, blow. We're bound to the southern, so steady she goes.
I love it. You did the chucklehead verse this time. I love the chucklehead. It gives me a chuckle.
Oh my gosh, yes. So I'm having my ginger beer. Want to toast to all of you?
Toast to toast.
I noticed when I was in the grocery store today that the ginger beer comes in a box now. Comes in a little box like normal. They used to have those little plastic rings around them. You remember?
Oh, yeah, right.
You remember when we were all growing up, or say we have to cut those plastic rings because seagulls would get entangled in them? Mm. Well, they made a switch to cardboard boxes now. So anyhow, a toast to the future of ginger beer.
Ginger beer and toast to chuckleheads.
Yes. So, fish of the sea. Yeah, fish of the sea.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm really excited to talk to you to right now, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little bit on an issue here that is an important issue for all of us to be at least aware of, about salmon. I'm sure you all love salmon. We all love salmon. Salmon is important in the world of... when you go to the market, you want to have something salty. You want something... And we were just talking about the troubled herring, and herring are in trouble. And the unfortunate, sad story about herring is that people don't eat herring. It's what it is what's so critically important is that the herring are essential to the food chain. Just about every fish you like to eat eats herring. So that's why we want lots of herring. And some people harvest a herring for the roe, but when it was in better days. But salmon are they're very similar to the herring in the sense that they come up into the fresh waters and spawn. They go home to spawn. And on the West Coast there's a huge struggle, a huge effort. And it's mostly rewarded. I think we can say it's rewarded because there is a pretty vibrant salmon fishery on the West Coast. But on the East Coast it's not. It's in trouble. Salmon are in trouble, and there's efforts underway up and down the coast to try and see what we can do to bring salmon back. Well, there's something else on the sidelines that's going on, and it's and most likely the salmon that you may eat very likely the salmon that you eat, if it's not wild, it's farmed salmon. And the farming of salmon is not necessarily a good thing. And in fact, in most cases that I've heard, and there are people who know more about it than I do, the salmon farming industry is really harmful to the environment, not to mention what they're doing to the salmon. And I know many of you know that my wonderful daughter Emma Lovewell is a big item on the world of people pay attention to her. She's a really smart lady. She's involved in she's just a terrific lady, and many of you know her. And once or twice we've had her on the show. And I have a high regard for her, as you all know. And many of you have a high regard for Emma. Well, I want you also to know that I am proud of her for reasons that go beyond her celebrity status. I can say that as her father. I can say I'm enormously proud of my daughter Emma beyond her success. As a celebrity. She is a mindful lady. And those of you who follow Emma know this. Those of you who follow Emma closely on Instagram and other social media know that she's a very conscientious lady. And she just returned from a trip to Chile. I know this sounds circuitous. How are you talking about salmon and then I'm talking about my daughter Emma?
You're getting there. I know.
She knows the story. But anyhow, Emma was in Chile and she was out kayaking with her boyfriend Dave. And they were out in the fjords of Chile. And many of you already know this. The salmon is farmed out in Chile. Salmon is farmed in Norway. It's farmed in a lot of different places. But she was taken back by what she saw there in this beautiful country, Chile, the farming of salmon. And it became clear to her from the get-go that it's not as pretty as you think. It's not as natural, not as environmental friendly as you would think. It's not. And I would invite you to don't hear it from me, don't hear it from her. You could do some research. The farming of salmon is detrimental to the environment. It really is. From the bait they feed, the food that they feed the salmon, they fill them with antibiotics because they're so tightly packed together in these pens. And this is why I wave this book, For Fish, by Paul Greenberg. The subject of salmon and the subject of wild fish is a topic worthy of your attention, and it's your interest. And I would invite you to take a look at any book that you can grab that are certainly by Paul. Paul's terrific. I know Paul. My son, Alan Lovewell, runs a fishing business on the West Coast. We all know Paul, and we hold him in high regard. And the first chapter of this book is about the troubles with salmon. And I invite you. I realize people like to get to my show and just to get away from it all, and that's a wonderful thing, and we invite that. We welcome that, and that's part of our story. But we're here, as citizens of this earth, to keep ourselves aware and keep you aware of concerns that we have for the environment. And I'll just finish this topic. I'm not going to go into the heavy stuff. I'm only going to say to you, be mindful. Be mindful of the fish that you eat. Be mindful of the stories that go around. Because we want our coastal communities to be okay. We want enough fish in the ocean that fishermen can harvest them in traditional ways. Agriculture is hugely important to the future of the species that we love, whether it's shellfish or fish. But let's do it right. Let's do it correctly. Let's do it where it's not harmful to our earth and to our environment. So my hat is off to my daughter Emma for not only being the wonderful lady that she is, but also of having that conscience. She's involved in a lot of really cool environmental, and she's involved in a lot of human rights issues. And as her father, I could not be prouder. She's a citizen. She's a citizen of the world. She's not just a citizen of the United States or a citizen of the athletic community or the exercise community. She's a citizen of the world, and God bless her for having all those qualities that raise our attention. So I generally don't talk about Emma during my show because she's a star on her own right, and I am, anyhow. It's amazing. But we had this little exchange just a few days ago when she came back. Now the other thing I want to talk about something that was really cool.
Really cool.
Really cool. This morning, I mentioned it in the morning show about the Endurance. And if you want something that's really fun to explore, Google Endurance. This is a ship. I'm going to throw some numbers at you. This is a ship that's 144 feet long that sank in 1915. It's more than 100 years ago. Sank in the waters of southern Atlantic near Antarctica, in proximity to Antarctica. She was crushed by the ice. The explorers, Ernest Shackleton and his crew and scientists were out working their way doing exploratory work, and their ship got crushed by the...
And their photographer was on board who took amazing pictures. There's
some of the, I don't know, the cover and their pictures here, but I talked about it. The thing that is so remarkable about this, in this age where we're so worried about the leaders of the world, there's so much question about leaders not being as good as they could be. The Ernest Shackleton story is an astounding, positive story of the many crew members aboard the ship who were put at great risk by the sinking of their ship, and
they had to camp out on the ice for a long time, right?
And camped out on. Not one of them died. Not one of them They all walked away from that terrible experience of losing their ship with stories to tell. And this amazing book by Alfred Lansing, if you want to take a look, you can. I don't know. It's certainly not in print, but you can certainly get it in your local library, or you can get it. I go to a Libris to get all my used books, but I invite you to look that story up, and also look up the story that just appeared recently.
Just happened about the Endurance.
They have underwater photographs of the ship.
They found it.
They found it just in the last week.
Like almost 2 miles deep, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that was cool about the story is because it's an all wooden boat. It's an old boat made out of wood, but it's so deep down there that there's no wood-eating organisms. So the thing is in just pristine condition. You can see where it says Endurance, the wheel. Oh my goodness, it's all there. It's all intact.
I heard it from Molly.
I mean, all the Wall Street Journal's got the story. They've all got the story. It's so cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
So, Google Endurance, look it up. And it's a big deal. It was a multi-million-dollar search project to find it. And it's the most significant ship found underwater.
Since the Titanic.
Which was they found the Titanic in 1985. That's a while ago. This is a big deal, and I invite you to look it up, read the story about it, because as you read the story, you're going to find yourself really touched by that. and Shackleton. I mean, it's hard. The world of leaders that we're living with today are having a hard time. We're questioning a lot of the leaders around us. Anyhow, Shackleton, I can say this so many years later. He's beloved. The man is beloved and highly regarded. And if you're looking for a positive story to raise your day, I invite you to go look up Endurance. What a great story. All right, so one little thing here. I'll just say this. Next Sunday, we're going to do a little St. Patty's Day something.
I wore green a little too early.
She wore green today. Wait. Yeah, wrong key again.
Oh, there it is.
So tune in with us next Sunday, and from Molly and I, and happy St. Patty's Day.
I hope you play that again next Sunday.
Oh my God,
this
is a fun.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, St. Patty's Day. I mean, we love the Irish. I'm sure there's an Irishman in every one of your lives. I love the idea of the community being so musical, the Irish community, and I wish we could be a little more like that on the coastal community to do music on a regular basis. So, anyhow, we have a surprise guest here today.
Surprise guest! Can't wait! I can't wait. Where do you see this? Where do you see the surprise?
This
guest?
is never before performed on this show. I know many of you look at my logo, and you see, well, there's a guitar there, and then there's an anchor. What else is there?
What else is there? Stay tuned. Oh, that's a joke. Stay tuned.
Well, that's one of the problems. The reason why I don't bring this to the show very often is because, for those of you...
Hey! Doing good. Doesn't it sound great?
This is a banjo. And I might as well just be straightforward and tell you that the hardest part about playing a banjo, it doesn't seem obvious to you. The hardest part about playing a banjo is keeping it tuned. So, bear with me. I love playing the banjo. But there's nothing worse in the musical world than to hear a banjo out of tune. So I don't bring it out very often. And I have to tune it for you because I can't imagine people around the world hearing Mark Lovewell play the banjo and I'm playing a banjo out of tune.
You got to show them what's in it.
Was it last week we did the concertinas?
Yeah. Show them what's in it.
I mean, we love my baritone concertina.
Yeah.
And I love playing the banjo. It's nothing more relaxing. But here's another piece of information for you. What's the difference between your car and my banjo?
Not much, because they're about the same size.
Here's the answer. You can tune her guitar. You can tune her band, or you can tune her car. And I am of highest regard to people who play the banjo. All right? So don't misunderstand me. The issues that I have is just nobody wants to hear an out-of-tune banjo. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, to be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come out right. Let's do it again because we're not sure we're going to do it again for a while. I don't know what do you think of banjo playing, folks? You have to put some comments in there because we may put this banjo away for another 2 years before I bring it out.
Oh, no. I mean, we like it.
You can tell your friends, Mark plays the banjo, but we're questionable about whether it's ever in tune.
Sounds good. Hey,
One more time, and you know the song, so sing along. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight. True simplicity is gain, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come out right.
Yeah, yay. Thank you, special guest.
Still in tune.
It's still in tune. You still gotta show
I'm in
them what's
shock.
inside. Can you show them what's inside? I just think it's so
she wants
cute.
to show.
It's so funny.
She wants. You want to know what's behind it? This is the sock.
This is where the expression "put a sock in it" came from.
I've had this in here forever. I've never worn this sock, and the reason I have it in there is to muffle it. I don't want it sounding like I'm.
That's a lot louder. That'd be good for an outdoor gig. The sock's good.
It sounds like a different. The beauty of this
sound
instrument is that you've heard people play banjo. They all. Not every. It's not off the shelf. It's an instrument that can be played in so many different ways. Just like listening to a piano player. You know, when you're talking about ragtime, you're talking about Mozart, you're talking about all this. The banjo is the most diverse and it's an American product. They said the banjo was created in America. So anyway, that's debut
guest.
number 1. So you can tell your friends that Mark waited almost 2 years to bring the banjo out on the show.
That was worth waiting for. That was really fun. That was good.
Oh my God, how are we doing now?
It's great. See,
All
they
right.
like it. They like the band. These are banjo fans.
Are we all right with everybody?
Yeah, banjo fans.
Oh my God. Well, I love playing the banjo, but I love sailing more.
You don't have to tune your
I'm
boat.
sorry.
Right?
I love the banjo a lot, but I like sailing more. I think I can say the same thing for playing the concertina and the guitar. I love playing music, but I love sailing more. At this time of year, for sure. Anyway, I'm looking ahead to the season ahead.
Oh boy, we know what's coming. Yeah. I think a sailing song's coming.
So I have to say it every show I do it. I got to thank my supporters. I got to thank you. It's really amazing what's going on. With all the troubles in the world, with all the things going this way and that way, with the price of gas, everything, we're all being challenged. And it's truly wonderful that you're joining with me. We don't have to wear masks anymore in Massachusetts. But yet, we're all not stuck at home because, well, the winter has had its effect. But it's amazing to me that you're still with me.
This is a
Still
happy little
supporting.
corner of the world. This is a happy corner of the world.
This is a happy corner of the world, and you're lovable. Every one of you, for joining with me. And I have to shout out to my Patreon supporters for continuing. Unbelievable. You're unbelievable. And thank you for supporting. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look Patreon up. You can go to my website and you can see that there's a link there. Patreon. People give financial contributions to me to help me do what, to be what.
A little bit a month, yeah.
Just a little bit. Like, I think somebody, quite a few people give $3 a month. That's all it's $3 a month. It's just, they look at it as somewhat like a ticket to the show. And that's terrific, and helpful. And I can say to you, and Molly and I have talked about it, and we've actually shared a little bit of it with you before, and that is that we are in the recording studio. We are in an age when musicians don't make money anymore. Unless they do Madison Square Garden. We have the support you give us is being put to use, and it's being fun, and it's terrific, and it's a tribute to you.
Yeah.
I have 4 CDs. You can go look them up. And one might say, well, that's enough, But I'm having so much fun.
There's always more music. Always more music.
Our audience, you folks are wonderful to each other. That's the other part. You're nice to each other. What a community. Excuse me. I just hit my banjo. She's now out of tune. It's just, you're nice to each other. I'm watching folks. I'm just. So I got Melissa in the Chesapeake talking to Sharon in England. We got Joan right out, who's a wonderful lady who's in Astoria.
Oregon.
I want to give her. Can I give her a shout out?
Yeah.
Joanne, you are awesome. Here's this lady on the West Coast. She runs a radio program.
We got some vineyarders here too. They're right here with us.
Joanne is a sweet lady, and she's contributed already enormously to our show. A shout out to her. She has a program on the radio, the Ship Report. Well, she reports on the ships that are coming in and out of the Columbia River. If you don't know anything about the Columbia River, I invite you to look it up. There are a lot of people talk about the Mississippi River being big, okay? It is. There's no question. The Mississippi River is big. But I tell you, check out the Columbia River and check out the stories that come out of that beautiful place. My daughter was just out there in Oregon. I've been out there. Anyhow, Joanne Rideout, shout out to you. You're a lovely lady. We're looking forward to coming out and seeing you when the Fisher Poets Gathering takes place next February.
Yeah.
So this is my shout out to our supporters.
Everybody.
Thank you. I mean it. Call all hands to man the capstan. See the cable running clear. Heave away and with a will, boys, for New England we do steer. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to dear New England, rolling home near God to thee. Fare thee well, ye Spanish maiden, it is time to bid adieu. Happy time we've spent together, happy times I've spent with you. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to dear New England, rolling home near God to thee. Round Cape Horn,
What happened?
one frosty morning,
How frosty was it?
and the sails were full of snow. I'd no sheets and pulling those halyards. Let her off and let her go. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to dear New England, rolling home near God to thee. One more verse.
Oh, here it comes.
Thank you so much for being with us again. Many thousand miles behind us, many thousand miles to go. The ocean lifts her waves to bring us to that well remembered shore. Here we go. Rolling home, rolling home, rolling home across the sea, rolling home to Martha's Vineyard, rolling home near God to thee. Thank you, everyone. Oh my God, look at all
Woo!
that.
Look at all this. It's like fireworks of hearts
Oh
going
my
off
God, you
here.
folks are awesome.
My yeah.
Oh my God,
yeah.
look at that.
Oh,
Oh, woo-woo. We love you all. Oh, look at that. Oh my God.
So sweet.
Oh my gosh, you folks are terrific. Oh my God, thank you so much.
Good night.
Have a good night, have a good week. Happy St. Patty's Day.